Hello, fellow cyborgs, and welcome to a Pajama Sunday. Today, I'm going to be doing a tag. It's called the TMI book tag thing. I was tagged by Acacia Ives, and I don't off the top of my head know who the creator is, but I will link that down below. Which book character's clothing style do you like the most? That would be Sylvia from The Sorcerer's Apprentice. Your book boyfriend or fictional crush, I'm going to go with Anluan from Heart's Blood. Have you ever loved a character but then started to hate him or her? Probably, but off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you. Biggest or longest book on your shelf? That would probably be, but I'm not counting pages because I don't have time for that. That would probably be one of the fairy tale collections I have, so the Complete Brothers Grimm or something like that. Heaviest book on your shelf? That would probably be one of the same, or just one of the big hardcover bind-ups that I have because reasons, even though I don't like heavy, big hardcovers. Do you have any book posters? No, but I once commissioned Edward Cullen fan art from one of my friends. Do you have any bookish themed jewelry? I actually have a book-shaped locket from my private book club. One of the members got them for everyone, which was very sweet, and that's probably the most bookish jewelry I have. Book OTP, One True Pairing. This, if I remember the characters' names, would be Dukin and Meg from Umbria and Shadow by Patricia McKillip. You can tell it's my favorite because I can remember their names in the book they're in. I don't really do OTPs, but that's my answer. Favorite book series? Skullduggery Pleasant by Derek Landy. Favorite book to movie soundtrack? Treasure Island from Robert Louis Stevenson turned into Treasure Planet, which turned into my favorite movie soundtrack. A book you miss or wish would continue? That would be Lyriel's story from the Abhorsen trilogy. There's talk that they're going to be happening, but I kind of don't trust Garth Nix not to screw it up after I read Clariel. So yeah. I miss Lyriel, though. Favorite standalone? Okay, so maybe Jane Eyre, maybe the Rabbitback Literature Society. It's really hard when I don't have all my books in front of me to look at. When do you read books? Normally before bed. I try to shut off the internet and screens between 8 and 9 o'clock, and then I read until I was too sleepy to read anymore. Which Hogwarts house are you in? Hufflepuff. I'm hardcore Hufflepuff. Hufflepuff to the core. Our cool little burrow is by the kitchen so we can have snacks at midnight. It's awesome. Quality you look for in a book. Beautiful writing. Favorite book quote. This is from Abarat by Clive Barker, and it's a poem, so here we go. Life is short and pleasures few, and hold the ship and drowned the crew. But oh, how very blue the sea is. Favorite author? Don't have one, and that's fine. Favorite book cover? That would probably be Tales from Around the World, Collected Fairy Tales by Andrew Lang. It's a Barnes & Noble leather-bound classic thing, and it's just beautiful all over, everywhere. Action or romance? Romance! Where do you go when a sad moment happens? Not for tissues, because inevitably I don't want to move, and I just end up dripping you don't want to know all over my face, and it's good times. How long do you need to finish a book? Normally 1 to 2 weeks because I read multiple books at the same time. If I finish a book in 1 day, it's magical. In 2 days, it's wonderful. In 3 days, it's fantastic. And anything more than that, and it just feels normal. How long is your mourning period? I'm assuming this is book hangover or mourning dead characters. Probably a month. Maybe less. I'm becoming more heartless in my old age. Least favorite book? Wuthering Heights? Turn on in a character? Oh, moody, depressed. Just give me a Hamlet and I'll be like, I'll fix you. We're soulmates. It's a problem. Turn off in a character. Me man, you woman. We do it now, yes. You my property, yay. Woman, man, Reason I joined BookTube. To procrastinate in writing my novel. Name a scary book. Through the Woods by Emily Carroll? Last book that made you cry? Well, the last book that made me weep was The Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson, the third Mistborn book. Last book you gave 5 stars to? That would be The Beauty and the Beast, retold by Max Eilenberg, and illustrated by Angela Barrett. Any favorite book titles? Some of my favorite book titles, I don't have any specifics because I'm terrible, would be a book title that I actually notice, because most of the times I read a book title and it just becomes like this jargon of words. Like if you memorized a popular saying and you didn't actually know the words that made it up. And so my brain just accepts that that's what this physical object is called. And I normally don't take in what the words actually mean, which is weird. So any title that made me like stop and go, oh, that title. Last book you read. The last book I finished as of today, which is the 28th of February, was The Story of Alice. The last book I read, like as in the last book I touched and read, would have been Moby Dick. I read that every night. Book you are currently reading. I love how these like statements have question marks. Anyway, I'm reading a bunch. At the moment, I'm reading poetry by the Brontes, The Fox Woman by Kaij Johnson, Moby Dick by Herman Melville, Indistinguishable from Magic by Catherine M. Valenti, The Folk Tales of Scotland by the Montgomerys, and Alice in Wonderland and Philosophy by William Irving. Last book adaptation you watched. The last one I went to the theaters for was probably Divergent. A book character you always wanted to talk to. Jane Eyre. An author you always wanted to talk to. Nope. I don't want to talk to authors. They're scary. Favorite book snack. I don't like eating while reading because I need both hands to read comfortably, but I have enjoyed many a hot beverage like hot tea while reading. Book world you want to live in. I just thought of this and now I can't remember what I was thinking. I don't know. I have many favorite book worlds, but none of them would I want to live in because no guarantee that I would be like an upper middle class person and therefore would survive past the age of 12. Plus, in like a historical world, if I was born in it, then my knees would still be dislocated and I'd probably have died and been trampled by a horse. So I don't have an answer for this. The book world you'd least want to live in. I think it's Boz Lag from Perdido Street Station by China Mieville. Nasty, gross, tetanus, no. Last time you smelled a book. Right now. I love smelling books, especially secondhand ones. It's so comforting. One time I read, among others, from the library, and the book smelled like incense. It was nice. Weird insults used in books. Toe rag. Favorite romance book. I'll talk about my favorite romance books in a future video, coming soon. Do you write? I pretend to. Favorite magical item. Oh, the Abhorsen bells. Yep. Your Quidditch position. Were I forced, I would be the keeper because I'm pretty good at catching things, but in actuality, I wouldn't know anything about Quidditch. Like, were I a Hufflepuff in Hogwarts, I would be concerned with just like studying and staying in my nice little corner and not leaving the grounds and just, yes. Name a song you connect to a book. This is really superficial, but Never Let Me Go by Florence and the Machine reminds me of Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro. I know, I'm deep. Favorite book-related chat-up line. I don't have a favorite, but frankly, if anyone wants to chat me up in a bookstore, I'll probably be game. Have you ever used it? No, I don't talk to people. Favorite book fandom? I don't do fandoms. But I think my favorite book world is The Old Kingdom and the New Kingdom from Garth Nick's Abhorsen trilogy. It's definitely my go-to to answer that question. So I just love that trilogy. Is so good. How many books do you own? I haven't counted. Probably 300 or more. Who do you tag? I'm not going to tag anyone. However, if you guys want to answer some of the questions in the comments, I would love to read them. Or if you're a creator and you're watching this and you feel like just derping around with this tag, consider yourself tagged by me and call me out on it in videos because I let you. You're allowed. It's a free country, kind of. Depends on the country you're in. I live in a free-ish country. You know, I haven't actually had this tea yet because it's too hot. So this explains my behavior. Okay, so that was the TMI book tag thing. Thank you, Acacia, for tagging me. I hope that this wasn't too long. I tried to be brief. You know how blathery I am. It was difficult. And I hope that this was entertaining. Perhaps a little bit. And I hope you have a lovely week. And until next time, continue to be lovely.